Well, today I'm going into the Whirlpool. This is the Whirlpool of Death, or otherwise known as the Wheatfield or the Bloody Wheatfield. This is Tattered Flags #1, which is a full account of the bloody fighting that swept through Rose's Wheatfield on July 2nd, 1863. This is by Herman Luttman and produced by Blue Panther. Which I'm thankful of them for getting this to me so I can take a look at it. This is going to be an after-action report as soon as I do the action here. I'm just setting up the scenario. I've done an unboxing of this, and I'll put a link to that in the description. But I decided to start at the beginning. This is Scenario 1, First Contact. And so you have a setup, typical what you expect of a setup sheet to where you set things up. The differences on this kind of map is you've got these 8-pointed stars. So there's no hexes, but you put the units on the star, and that and you can kind of determine their facing when you change facing by pivoting on the point. You can use the setup there, or if you're visually inclined, they have these huge setup charts here, or setup sheets that, thick paper, big setup sheets, almost as big as the map, but shows you where everything sets up as well. Sorry, I got a little bit of glare there. So shows you where everything sets up as well. So this is a scenario where the Confederates need to occupy some victory stars or spaces on this side of the board. Most of them are like over here in this area. And this is like the very, very beginning of, I think, the contact or combat in the Wheatfield right there. As you see, you have these forces, the Confederate forces, going to be engaging under the Union forces under Ward. And then, the infamous 17th Maine that was end up being positioned at the stone wall here at the southern part of the Wheatfield. They're just coming into play. They're just coming down this road, and there's the peach orchard coming down this road, and we'll be getting into the fray. As I said, this is the first contact, and that's the name of the scenario there. So this is how it all begins. And if you are familiar with Gettysburg Second Day or the Wheatfield, I mean, this was by some accounts the bloodiest piece of real estate on the bloodiest day, for the bloodiest battle, for the bloodiest war that ever took place on American soil. So I heard somebody portray it that way. So a lot of lives. I don't know if the casualties are somewhere between, I guess, 6,000 and 9,000, maybe something like that. I'll do some more research on that as we progress through this. So, and all these scenarios are played on this map, so they're progressing through the different contact and combat over this piece of real estate right here. Anyway, so just setting this up. I don't know if I'm going to do a play-by-play, or if I'll just do segments, or if I'll play the whole doggone thing and then tell you what happened afterwards. Anyway, very interested in getting into this. This looks like an interesting system. I think it labels itself as kind of a miniatures almost system, or miniatures adjacent type system. It's got a lot of the feel of it with the orders and the way you do things on this. So anyway, there you have it. I now go into the Whirlpool. Hello all, I'm back into the Whirlpool, and I decided to go ahead and finish off the scenario. If you recall, I am in Scenario 1, First Contact, and at the end of the game, the game begins at 4:15 and ends at 5 on the dot, and at the end of the last game turn, the Confederates need to occupy these red spaces here. Now, how did we end up? Well, this turned out to be a Confederate major victory, because they occupied this space, and this space. And as you can see on here, that is this space this space and this space right here. So they got 3 spaces, and if you occupy 1 or 2, it's a minor victory. If you occupy 3 or more, it's a major victory. Otherwise, the Union wins. But if at least one Confederate formation is shattered, the Union player wins a major victory. So there you have it. Now, I completely, admittedly, probably butchered a lot of the rules. This was my first time going through this, but I wanted to. This is a good introductory scenario because you can kind of learn by your mistakes as you're going along. I probably messed up with the orders and the movement and the disruption, but I feel like I got a good a feel for the game as I played along. The Confederates need to huff it through these woods, and when you're moving through these woods, you're going to get disruption, because in order to remove disruption, you need to stop and take a rest, so to speak. I can't remember what that's called now, what that action, I have to pull that up again. But I did that a little bit, then I realized I'm never going to get up here. So I started huffing it to get up here, especially the 15th Georgia, because they start in the way back, and they really need to, get with the ball game to get up to the top there. And I probably played the Union wrong in that I just kind of had them hold out here. I moved some of the forces up to kind of create a flank or a hook here to try to get some more combat. I knew that the Confederates were never going to be able to really outflank or go up to this area, so I kind of tried to cap them off. But I didn't be aggressive. I didn't move up, and if I had moved up, I might have been able to block out some of these, maybe at least that space. I left the artillery up here to take pot shots at the Confederates, especially the 1st Texas, as they had to kind of dash across this field. They came over the fence and started dashing across this field. Interestingly, I secured one of my first hits while the 1st Texas was still in the woods here behind the fence. However, I just rolled miserably as they were running through this field, and so the 100 and Smith's battery, and then the 124th, they really did not do justice to this to the 1st Texas there. There was one casualty. The 1st Texas got hit twice. With a casualty, and the way that works is when you're rolling, if you roll less than half, you get a critical hit, you get a murderous hit, and then if you roll if you roll doubles, you get a critical. So it's got 2 murderous hits. So that bye to the 1st stack of 1st Texas. But anyway, so again, I admittedly probably messed up some stuff, but I feel pretty good about as a first playthrough of getting a better understanding of the rules. I'm gonna have to get this out a lot more. I might actually leave this up and set up maybe the 2nd scenario and see what it's like. Now, the 17th Maine, in history, I think the 17th Maine came down this road and started setting up here, and then you got some batteries here. I kind of dashed them through the Wheatfield. I thought, well, maybe let's get them to plug up some holes. There was really no holes to plug, and so they're just kind of a afterthought. There's really not much they can do. If this line holds, they're superfluous to this kind of endeavor. But, it was fun getting the 17th Maine down there. Anyway, that is what I have for you today. As far as review aspect, the map is beautiful. The canvas map. Now, I think that it came with a choice of paper or canvas. The one that was sent to me is canvas. So really like it. I really do like the Blue Panthers canvas maps. The counters, I like Blue Panthers counters. They're thick and chunky, and they feel good into the tactile feel. Plus, I'm not a counter clipper, so these are perfect out of the counter sheet for me. Anyway, so that's the rules are fine. I feel like there could have been a little bit more exposition, but generally I think I got through it. Again, I probably messed up some stuff, but that's on me, not the rules. The player aids are pretty decent. I mean, I used the fire tables quite a bit, and I never got to close combat. We were just firing, and used this sequence of play. Use this brigade orders, what orders you're limited to, quite a bit. Use the initiative rolls, the command range. It really never came into play, but I was just referring to it. I actually used the change orders because I had to change orders. I used maneuver for the Confederates to get them up there fast, and the same with the 17th Maine. Then I changed them to engage so they can have some firepower, still maneuver and firepower. And then with the Union, I just used engage so they could do a little bit of maneuvering, but mainly be ready for firepower. So that's, and again, I'm learning this. So this is, there's a lot here. There's a lot to unpack and get into. I didn't get to the formation morale test because the highest disruption I think I got was 5 on some stuff. When you get to 6, that's when you start having some big problems. So anyway, my first attempt and ramblings, and again, admittedly mess things up, but maybe my errors will be your cautionary warning. You'll do better. Anyway, that is Into the Whirlpool. I'd recommend this if you're interested in Civil War games, if you're interested in something that feels a little bit like a miniature game, but without all the muss and fuss of painting and the like, which I have no skill, time, or patience for that. So this is perfectly fine for me. Then this might be the game you want to think about. Anyway, thanks all. Take care. Thanks for watching.